In the dark days of the military, when unpatriotic cabals were strutting about this great country, bringing her name to dust and reducing all Nigerians to their knees, Pa Alfred Rewane was a pillar of strength. He inspired and sustained all those who say no to the generals in power. It is, however, a tragedy of our times that he received an assassin's bullet for his strong stance for the liberation of the nation. Notwithstanding, Pa Alfred Rewane received a good measure of credit for the constant struggle for the liberation of Nigeria and Nigerians from the shackles of the military in power. From the days of the Action Group crisis in the 1960s, he stood up as a comforter of the families of those who were detained, those who were under house arrest, those who were in jail, and even those who were forced into exile. When he himself was not answering charges of treason, from which he would later be discharged and acquitted, he literally carried a bag of gifts with him wherever he went. He was said to have a gift for everyone, including toys for children, stipends for the whole family, and a wealth of jokes to share with everyone. He was a financier rather than a pauper, waiting for handout from his party. But who actually was Pa Alfred Rewane? Well, the man known to history as Pa Alfred Rewane was born Egbeyiwa Eriwarini on the 24th of August 1916. He was later nicknamed Osibakoro, meaning the fearless one, and his life was a true reflection of this name. He was born in Warri to the family of Jemide Eriwarini. His father was a trader who was based in Agbo, a popular town located in present-day Ika South local government area of Delta State. At the time when his father was away from Warri, Rewane stayed with his highly religious uncle who gave him the first name Alfred. When Alfred Rewane finally came of age for elementary education, he attended African school and then the government school, both in Warri. Though he was admitted to the Dennis Memorial Grammar School for secondary education, Rewane did not proceed further with his education in this school. Instead, he began his career as a manager training with UAC and became the beach master in the Lagos Custom Wharf for the firm. While at UAC, Rewane continued to nurse the ambition to have his own business empire. He had a conviction that he will especially do well in the business. In the 1940s, he left UAC and focused on importing goods, especially cow bones and black pepper. The next decade, that is in the 1950s, he also ventured into the timber trade. This was a well-calculated plan to expand his business empire. It is a matter of benign legend that before the founding of the Action Group, he was already one of 4 great timber magnates in the country. But that is not all. He also owned the Rex Club in the Yaba area of Lagos, where Bobby Benson was a regular musician. In the 1970s, he promoted a series of businesses in Sapele in partnership with the Seaboard Corporation of the United States. The companies included Live Flour Mills, the West African Shrimps, and Top Feeds. Because of his political stance, various and successive governments assaulted his businesses in more ways than can be imagined. But Pa Alfred Rewane was a shrewd man. He diversified his investment in ways that would put the larger Nigerian economy in trouble if his businesses were put under the hammer. A practical example is the politics of flour mills. Those who remember the politics of flour mills in Nigeria would agree that putting Rewane's investment in trouble amounted to putting the Nigerian economy in trouble. In the 1950s, during the pre-independence era, Alfred Rewane met with Chief Obafemi Awolowo and the two became good friends. He was to become Awolowo's political secretary and later chairman of the Western Nigerian Development Commission, WNDC. Meanwhile, when Chief Obafemi Awolowo made his first triumphal entry into Lagos to inaugurate the Action Group, the crowd that awaited him was very large. The crowd was so large that Awolowo had to abandon his car on the old Abeokuta road around Agege. However, Alfred Rewane's Oldsmobile was one of the cars that was considered grand enough for the triumphal entry. This act of turning his car for a public purpose was more than significant. Rewane was a man who was forever loyal to his friends, a devoted family man, a committed party member, and a firm supporter of whatever he believed in. During the transition to the Second Republic, the Unity Party of Nigeria ran into financial hard times. But Osibakoro was there to bail the party. He granted the party a series of loans, which he later converted to donations. But at the end of the Second Republic, when General Muhammadu Buhari arrested him as part of a general roundup of all who were on the wrong side of the military dictators, he told his interrogators that it was his own money that he gave to the UPN. He had been making money, he said, before his interrogators were born and was not going to change his style to suit their dispensation. For as long as Chief Awolowo remained in politics, he would always give financial support to the organization that he led. However, after Chief Obafemi Awolowo passed away, he became a rallying force for progressive politics across Nigeria. Pa Alfred Rewane was not only a doer of deeds who sustained public causes, he was indeed Osibakoro, the fearless one who spoke truth to power even in the most dangerous times. In the 1990s, Rewane's residence in Lagos became a venue of political meetings that led to the formation of NADECO. He was known as a major financier of the group, which was vocal in opposition to the military regime of General Sani Abacha. It, however, became a tragedy over time that he received an assassin's bullet. But before I get to the story of his assassination and the legal gymnastics that followed, let me remind you how the wealthy industrialist stood up for racism in Nigeria. He is credited with standing up to the racism of Lagos Bristol Hotel in 1948 when he led members of the Island Club to a sit-in protest. The protest led to a ban on all forms of racial segregation in Nigeria by Governor General Sir Arthur Richards. Rewane's doggedness is again exemplified with indignation against the World Bank dismissal of the proposed establishment of West African Portland Cement (WAPCO) due to the absence of limestone in Nigeria. But in the mid-1990s, the military regime of General Sani Abacha was not ready to put up with him. Pa Alfred Rewane was murdered on October 6, 1995 at his residence in Ikeja, Lagos. The assassination was believed to have a government inkling. On Friday, October 6, 1995, between the early hours of 8 and 8:30 a.m., 5 men in a Peugeot 504 car came to the premises of 79-year-old nationalist and one of the founding leaders of the then Action Group, Pa Alfred Rewane, at 100 Oduduwa Crescent in GRA, Ikeja. At the gate, they told the gateman that they had a message from Live Flour Mills in Sapele for the chairman, Pa Rewane. They showed a paper which they claimed they wished to deliver to him. The gateman let them in. While in the house, they locked up some other occupants of the house in a separate room and proceeded to the elder statesman's room. Few minutes later, the nationalist was gunned down in his bedroom by the assassins. He was confirmed dead on arrival in the hospital. Following his assassination, 5 suspects said to have participated actively in the murder were initially arrested, while a Peugeot 504 car suspected to have been used by the assassins was recovered in Benin, where it was parked a few days later. 2 of his domestic staff, Lucky Igbenova and Ayuba the gateman, were also arrested. On January 3, 1996, the suspects were subsequently charged to court. However, the police reported that about 4 of the suspects had died in police custody. Notwithstanding, in January 1997, the then Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Kumasi, was quoted as saying that the remaining 3 suspects had jumped bail. But the suspects, through their lawyers, quickly stated otherwise. The case was, however, not concluded before General Abdulsalami Abubakar handed over power to Olusegun Obasanjo in 1999. During the Obasanjo administration, the case started afresh before Justice Adesanya, but the police dropped the murder charges. Instead, they charged the suspect with conspiracy to commit armed robbery. However, close family relations has publicly disowned the armed robbery theory, and as October 2008, the police returned the murder charges, but the case has remained in court and the suspect remained in detention, awaiting trial. At the time of recording this video, no one has ever been brought to justice for the murder of Pa Alfred Rewane. Ironically, Chief Bola Ige, who vehemently condemned the assassination of Chief Marshal Harry in the mid-1990s, became a victim of gruesome murder in early 2000s, as shown in the video displayed here. But before you go check that video out, kindly take a moment to boop the like button on this one and subscribe to Hispo Media. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.